Hello and welcome back to the channel again. So today will be Loquelic Part 3 and I'm going to use it in a new interesting way that I've not tried before, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to run it in a free running mode through the Javelin and the Carbon rather than just triggering it straight from here and using its own envelope. We're going to bypass the envelope and we're going to go through Javelin and Carbon. One of the reasons I want to do that is because I heard the sad news today about WMD are going to cease trading, which I think has come to as a bit of a shock to all of us. Saw them as one of the stronger, definitely one of the companies that I like to purchase from, as well as Make Noise and IntelliGel and Noise Engineering. But I've always loved the WMD modules, especially for the kind of music that I like to do. So today I'm going to make sure that we use this envelope VCA, show off to its full potential, and also this morning I found a couple in stock somewhere, so snapped those up quickly. Got another pair of these I'll probably be using with the Ataraxic or other modules, and probably make a 2-voice set in here. So anyway, let's get started, and I'll just show how kind of mind bent the way that I use this and completely separated off the envelope and use that for something else. So let's get started. So first things first, put this into free running mode, which is using this switch down here, and then we don't need the trigger. We can see we've got the audio output coming out at full here. So just like the Ataraxic, which doesn't have the envelope built in, we're into standard Loquelic mode. Okay, so let's just take that output. Let's just see what it sounds like straight off the bat. There we go. All I've done is tune it, put it into one of the algorithms. We'll just start there. All these down, so just nice, simple waveform there. Right, let's just take that out and we will send it through our envelope, VCA and filter. So to do that, what we're going to do is we will send the gate into the gate of the Javelin. We'll send the audio into the Javelin VCA input. And then the output here will go across into the filter. Again, definitely into the input, not the bandpass. I've made that mistake for 3 videos in a row now, so let's see how long I last before that happens again. And then what we'll do is we'll just, as usual, we'll loop the 4-pole through a dry mimeophone, and then we'll bring that in later. Okay, there we go, low pass filter. Bit of resonance. Sidechain kick as always. Right, let's start with that. Now, I always like to send an envelope into my filter, and also the pitch sequence that we got here, a very simple bass line here, which as you can see is 7 steps long, but there's 2 on the last one, giving us a slight, gives us a rest on step 8, so it's a standard 8-step sequence here. I'll send the pitch into both, and as I was told before, use a buffered mult so that we don't lose any pitch. So let's send the pitch through here, and then we'll modulate the filter. So pitch into our mult. Would go help if I put it into the mult. Okay, that'll do. In fact, we can use a shorter cable there. And then if we send that same one into our volts per octave just to open up the filter, we're back where we were on the last video. Okay. Now, in order to use the envelope here, we need to trigger this, because at the moment we've got nothing coming out of the envelope out. There's a little light there next to the envelope, so if I trigger this, see we get the envelope coming out. So let's just send a gate from Metropolix into our trigger. So you can now see we've got an envelope coming out. Send that into our frequency modulation on the filter. just bring that in slowly. And there's the sound we all like. Nice bass line. Okay, let's see what we can do with this now. Now the reason I've done this is because now I can control the length of the envelope from Javelin, and then I can use these completely separately, purely for a frequency modulation here on the filter. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to use a good old friend mimetic here, which again I've just wired up through the lapses to just give us some nice sliders to bring in the CV here. I want to modulate this time. I'm going to modulate that time. I'm going to send that on channel 3. Let's bring this all the way up, but I've reset everything here with load 0 across all 4. So let's just use channel 3 here. And let's just bring in the occasional slight blip. I'm just going to use shred, which will give us the full 5-volt octave range here. I'm just going to use it a couple of times. So okay, yep, quite like that. Now the other thing will be the mod here, because this will just give us some higher frequencies into our bass line. So we just want a little bit of that. So we use channel 4 here into the mod. Again, just bring this in a little bit. Switch to channel 4 and just give that a few blips. And now with those higher frequencies, this will sound a lot more, we'll get a lot more reverb coming through when we bring in some mimeophone mix, so let's just bring that. I'm just going to not clock them in your phone. Just to give that a little bit more, because we've only got a few high frequencies there. It's almost like we're on a break, so let's just bring in a little bit of mod. There we go. Morph always sounds good, so let's go for a bit of morph. Do the same as we did last time. This time we'll just go full on the morph. So this is on channel 1. Just bring a few in. Now if we play around with this time mod, the time's on 3. Just bring this in. See how that's affecting the filter? And that's pretty much what I wanted to show today. So doing something slightly different. We're running this in free running mode. We're running it through the Javelin so that we can control the length of the envelope that we're opening up here on each step. We can go high range. We can go very short. And then our filter frequency cutoff is controlled by this time mod. We can go very short here. Because our resonance is up very high, we're getting those quite melodic blips, lasers. If we just find the sweet spot. And then we can control this cutoff with our slider. If we want to just completely mangle everything, we'll just set completely random values on here. Now if we zero all these off, you can just see what we're actually affecting. So we've come back to our standard baseline. We've got no frequency modulation. Have we got? No, we've got frequency modulation because of the the gate going in here sending us an envelope. I hope someone's found that useful. Free running mode can be quite useful. We don't always want to be using these envelopes here. We can keep the sound of the Loquelic back down to the simple version of the Loquelic. Control it externally here, but because it's got the envelope, we can always use it. I mean, if you look in the rack here, I don't have any dedicated envelopes. I mean, Javelin, yeah, that is an envelope because it's an envelope VCA, but it's a very customizable envelope. And then we've got the envelope coming out here. I have other modules that have envelopes coming out of them. So yeah, I don't really have any dedicated envelopes. Pretty much like I don't have any dedicated VCAs. I mean, I've got a quad VCA here, but I very rarely use it as a VCA because I've got VCAs just built into other modules. And also, if I can just find it, I have some low pass gate somewhere. Found it. So I've got a couple of these sync bassinas, which again they're just VCAs, but also with a built-in filter really. So you can just use these as envelope triggers. Kind of like these rather than having dedicated VCAs and envelopes. Very much into these all-in-one modules like this and the Javelin. So a couple of these, a couple of Javelins, a couple of small filters, and the mum mate as well. This has also got some built-in VCA, so yeah, don't really use any dedicated VCAs. Do use them occasionally to modulate the CV a little bit, but not really into that. I'm more into doing some techno stuff. So if anyone's got any advice on how I can use VCA separately, please feel free to let me know. I'm still learning. I'm still willing to learn every day. I keep learning something from comments that people give me every day, so all the feedback's really appreciated. So it's a journey for all of us, even those of us that don't yet have any modular or haven't decided to get into it. Just watching what other people do and just seeing the creative process that people come up with, I think it's really useful. So I like to get my ideas out and hope people find them either inspirational, or even if you just get one thing out of them that, oh, I've never tried that before, yeah, that's a really good idea. I mean, I get them from other people's videos all the time, so I'm always looking to learn. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one, and rest in peace, WMD.